Hello everyone, it's Francis with Your Book of Memories. I've got an incredibly special project this time. This one's actually spooky and pretty crazy. Shane ended up participating in this challenge. Okay, so it's just the mini album house tutorial. He broke pretty much every rule in the book. I mean, he went crazy. He's calling this Santa's Creepy Cottage, okay? You might want to kick back with a nice cup of tea for this one, because this one's going to be an adventure. I'm going to give you kind of a 360 spin here. He used some vellum for the windows, and he took a lighter and kind of went along the book cardstock here. He sliced cardstock halfway up each strip page and kind of layered it up to kind of look like house wooden panels here. Took a lighter, burn the edges. So this is actually just a really creepy house, and there's a cellar here as well. He even went out of his way to cut several little strips here for these movable little pieces. So there's a lot to this book, and there's little characters popping around each corner. This is a cool little cellar. It's a removable little piece here. He ended up actually making little openings in the chipboard and adding some different stairs and such. So really three-dimensional. And he ended up piecing together so many different paper packs, you guys. This is really just a super crazy, look at this. This is hanging off. There's a character in there and you might recognize him later on. So Santa's kind of different in this one. So look at this. See that little character in there? You might see him later. Let's see if you recognize him later. So we've got a broken window up top. He did the same thing to the roof tiles here. He ended up taking a lighter to all the different layers of these pages that he overlapped after he sliced the cardstock. So you can kind of see those burned edges kind of make it look like old wood panels there. So he also oriented his front door on a different part of the house panel. So here's the front door. It's kind of cracked open, and I think we might see our main character in here. If you can just kind of see, yeah, that's a little bit odd. And he ended up actually making some stairs, and those are removable as well. And since he loves plants and cactus especially, he could not help himself, so he had to get one from my paper line. And I love how that door is just kind of open. And right here on the side of the house with those 3 long windows, you can kind of see it's broken up, and you can kind of see the window structure through the vellum. So I thought that was a nice addition. I also really love his small window up at the top. Again, a broken window and even a shutter that's kind of fallen off. The back door is silly. I love how he cut out a little circle in there so it looks like there's a window in the door for the back of the house. So he has it all closed up magnetically here. He added a floor. So this piece unlatches, and so does this whole unit of all these plants. So are you ready to start adventuring inside? Oh my goodness. You could put pictures. He says he just kind of wanted his roof to kind of be able to open and close so it moves around easy on the construction. So I'm going to go ahead and set this creepy little roof off to the side so we can start adventuring. From this top view, you can kind of see he created a whole nother floor in here, and he cut out his own rug, and we'll look at that in a minute. But Santa has a really odd taste of Victorian interior design styles. So we're going to go ahead and actually remove the cellar by just sliding this off. Cute little unit that comes off so we can open this book together. And then I'm going to even kind of take these stairs off. Look how he made this with those little pillars. He really went to town by burning everything so it looks like aged wood, and really creepy. Not to mention very, very creepy. So I'm going to start by tilting the book over, and we're going to go on a little adventure here. And this unleashes right there. Okay. Just crazy, okay? It's crazy. Brace yourselves. I want to get a close-up on this. So here are all the panels to the house here. And I'm going to take a close-up on this because I thought this rug was a fabulous idea. He chose this really traditional checkerboard diagonal pattern here for the flooring. And then he came back and cut a circle out of some cardstock he found at Hobby Lobby. He started to make these little tassels by fraying with the scissors. And then he went along with his scoring tool and kind of made some imprints. Nice little ornate design there. I thought that was just a fantastic addition here. And then there's that flap that keeps everything closed. So let's start over here on this wackadoodle side. This is featuring the Your Book of Memories Today collection, and he inked it up and went to town there. So these kind of just open up like this, and this thing kind of slides up and reveals a funky little face there. So he cut that out, and I'm telling you, he played around like he was having a lot of fun. He was making fun. There's a cute little picture spot on the back. I'm not even sure if we're gonna put our Halloween pictures in here or not, but he is such a big dork. He was having a blast. So that kind of just hides. So this closes back up and opens to the left. And he ended up getting the Today paper pack and choosing only the Halloween colors out of it. And look what he did. He doodled directly on to my paper pack. So this is from the kitchen collection, and he made a funny plant face there and gave all the cactus from the Today line some jack-o'-lantern faces. He also changed around the wording. And yeah, that's what he had to say about that. This guy's not, really that happy, so he says, yuck, remake this. Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. I was like, what in the world are you doing? This folds down and reveals this little section here. And it says, get out of my kitchen. So that's super friendly. He got these little guys and they're removable. So he took the pan and that cute little flower container and kind of doodled some crazy faces on here. These are interchangeable, so they kind of just move around. It's just a fun, silly book. He layered up some of these and kind of intertwined these frames in sort of a Celtic sort of style there. And then this unit closes right back up. And right here, this is really pretty. This, I think, is my favorite part. This is where the Victorian style from Santa Claus kind of started to show up. So this is like a little flap and it opens like this. And it reveals these little chairs he was cutting out of one of the cardstock selections from Hobby Lobby. I'm not really sure which one. But this is a cool little pocket. And this pattern showed up on the other side of this vellum. Look how pretty, actually. I was really impressed by this this page. As you can see the pattern here, and then it's gone. So this is like an interactive element inside of a pocket. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that slides right back in there, and you could put a picture in there if you wanted. So much inspiration from this book. It's wacky, it's crazy. Look at this detail on this frame that he hand cut out. He hand drew it, and he even kind of embossed with his pencil and scraped in a design there. I think this is another, yeah, you can also insert your page in there. He just kind of put bricks in the background and kind of just have another little element showing up there. And this opens all the way up. I love this spread. Just kind of some weird chairs coming out. Very strange, very bizarre. He cut out the letters and they're going in reverse. I just love it. Another little interaction here. Oh, there's a baby chair. I was not expecting that. Does this give you weird vibes or is it just me? I don't know. That's like mom, dad, and the baby chair. Okay, is there anything else? No. Okay, guys, he did a lot of sneaky stuff in here. There might be things popping out in random places. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. So then this actually folds down like this. And the story goes that this is a grown-up boy, and then this is them grown up. Little close-up on there. He actually ended up layering these little pieces that we got from Hobby Lobby out of the Tim Holtz area. And he made it look like there was like a building in the back or a house, and then he stuck the characters in the foreground and created a little frame for him. And again, kind of a weird chair right there in the corner. And then here's them again, old record player in the background here, and that's them growing up. He ended up finding this beautiful frame and kind of put them in it. And the chair page from this other collection, he ended up setting these people on it. And for some weird reason, that ended up a little too perfect. It was kind of just weirding me out a little bit. I don't know how he was able to accomplish that. That was hilarious. And then it opens up again, actually. So all these flaps kind of fold around. Again, I do have the tutorial for the base of this book. He broke every rule, but I will leave all the info down in the description. And also, this particular book was an album challenge being held in the YBM community on the app. So download the app, it's free. You can kind of browse the community. You see how Sarita, one of my students and friends, she created this amazing rendition. So if you're interested in seeing more, check out the app. I'll leave the link in the description. I would say that this is my favorite spread he did. He used some of this vintage old wallpaper sort of floral page, and it's a waterfall. He attached it very strangely in order to get those windows on the outside of the house to kind of work. So there is no tutorial on all these crazy, wacky things he did. I'll leave a link to my other one that says what the base of the book is really truly about. But again, he spun off into his own adventure, had a ton of fun. And here's a little weird thing. He kind of put Santa and the world on this sort of strange moving piece here. And you kind of just move this around. I mean, I don't know. Santa's kind of starting to, yeah. So, and this all folds right back up beautifully. Love that floor page. He included the Yearbook of Memories purple page here, but I want to lift everything up so you can see again. Here's the interior. Guys, I'm jumping around because this book is crazy. We've got a chair here and like this little frame, and then here's the outside of the house. You see how he used the chipboard, so he attached an extra flap to be able to get these off of the base so he can work and peer through the window. Does Santa look familiar through the broken window? Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. This all closes up. I love this page. And now that moves us on to this little cute pouch right here. So he ended up hand cutting out this moth from one of the papers, as well as some music notes here. And first I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and this one, to kind of reveal the inside of here. So this is weird. He had to get weird with it again. If you watch closely, if I lift this, his eyes kind of peek over the... Yeah, weird. So you do have access to put pictures in here if you were comfortable to do so with that strange person in there. Now with this open, I'm gonna flap this up and kind of show you something freaky here. If you don't like things like this, look away. Santa has some shifty eyes. All I know is that Shane was having a lot of fun, and it's kind of weirding me out. And we've got this cool little assembly of Christmas and Halloween coming together. This is where you can put your picture, but there's like a little vellum, pretty rose paper right there to kind of indicate and give it a little bit more character while there's no photo in there. And then this also comes down. So he had a splay of papers sitting on his desk, and he decided to kind of cut all these little angles out, and these are pockets, little places for pictures. Some cute graph paper here. So this was how his paper was laid out on his table, and he decided to kind of make some funky pockets out of all the different designs there. That folds up and opens again this way. Beautiful. There's that back page there, if you recognize that. And there's an elephant, and he has a little written message here on this beautiful frame. Look at that. He totally hand cut that, hand drew, and embossed it. There's an elephant in the room, it says. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. And there's Santa. There's Santa Claus chilling. And this just slips actually right behind the cardstock pocket here. He did a different matting method, as you can see throughout the entire book. There's really no eighths showing. All that closes back up, and that brings us on to this unit over here. Now the story continues through Santa's creepy cottage. We've got this trippy mirror. It's just some gold foil accent cardstock there, and then on some wood grain, so I love that. That turned out really, really pretty. And then he's got them again. I think they got, you know, the girl and the boy in the beginning of the story, they got a bit older here. He ended up coming back with some forest paper from Hobby Lobby, layering it in the back, adding a car, and having both of them together. And he assembled all these different layers and created a scene out of it. So I really love that. And here's kind of a cool top hat insert that comes out for another picture. He inked the edges along this. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that just slips right back inside here. And I just love the colors he chose for this portion. He has like this super cool cello here, a little bit more graph paper here for a photo. And then he's got this cascading waterfall going in a vertical position. So we've got some nice fall paper here, a really nice red. This goes again, nice map paper. And then you'll notice these little etchings inside. You see how he did that? And there's eyes. He wrote the word look in there. And you can kind of see at this angle. You flip again, and you can kind of see something a little strange inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these back and open this up, and now you'll actually see who was on the other side. So here he is again. I believe this is the story of Santa growing up. Here's the windows. Again, he did some more layering here. It looks like he's in the forest. The door pretty much lines up there, as well as this window, which is pretty creepy. And then down here, he did like a really beautiful little layering, more of like a traditional, but I got something a little weird here. I don't know if I saw that earlier or not. How did those eyes get there if I didn't see them before? That is really weird, because I don't see them anywhere in here. I only see Santa's on that side. Wait a minute. There's this mechanism in here that moves the eyes. I don't know if you could see this extra strip of paper here. That's moving the eyes, so once they're closed, that's what reveals this little odd set of eyes inside there. I mean, is this an adventure or what? This is just crazy. I mean, check out this book all opened up. It's just incredible, all the different ways it opens and all the different features he ended up adding to his. I am just blown away by all the kind of weird, strange, sort of out-of-the-box thinking. And I mean, I love this spread. I'm going to use this as inspiration, but I'm going to leave out eyeballs because that's a little bit strange. And this all folds back together. I encourage you highly to go check out the app. You could download the app for free. Again, the link is in the description, and the tutorial for this project and the info is also down below. I have thoroughly been enjoying seeing everybody's creations during these album challenges. It gets us to get our paper out, and we really feel like we're just crafting with each other, and it's just been so amazing. Shane, you made a super creepy cottage, and I think my favorite element is the exterior with the burned little panels here. I'm obsessed. There's magnets right there. These attach to the front. The entrance to the cellar just attaches right to the side of the book. And then this fabulous roof just goes straight on top. And it's all nice and angled with those pillars in the front of the house. Shane really worked long hours on all this, and it was just a blast to see it all come together. So I want to say thank you so much for spending your time with us today. I really hope you gained some inspiration from this. And comment, what is your favorite part about this house, and what do you think you'll be using in your next little project that you'll be making? Creepy or cute? I'll catch you all next time. Bye.